If you are watching this video right now on YouTube, you are probably fortunate enough to have internet access. What if I told you that it is possible to have a more stable and faster internet connection than what you are currently using? Talk of a switch from a traditional cellular internet connection to a reliable high-speed satellite-based internet connection. Here is where Elon Musk's Starlink company comes in. How does Starlink work and how is it revolutionizing the world of internet connection? Let us find out. The year is 2015. Tech billionaire Elon Musk and his SpaceX team of engineers made a bold move when they launched Starlink, a company that provides satellite internet connection to even the most remote parts in the world. In 2019, Starlink launched its first satellites, and by November 2020, the Starlink beta internet service was available to the public. What followed next is a steady and rapid growth of Elon Musk's internet business. The results of Starlink's growth are out there for everyone to see. Today, Starlink covers 7 continents across 60 countries. So far, the satellite internet company has attracted over 2 million subscribers, and the numbers are expected to go higher in the coming months. But what makes Starlink so attractive? You will definitely go for Starlink because of its high speed and reliability. You see, the Starlink satellite internet has high download speeds of up to 200 megabytes per second, upload speeds of 15 megabytes per second, and an average latency of 30 milliseconds. Since it is satellite internet, you can access it from anywhere, regardless of your geographical location. The internet will be accessible from your camper van in remote areas, or even from your cruise ship when you sail around the world. You can also catch your popular online show from the comfort of your airplane seat, courtesy of the Starlink satellite internet. A big thumbs up to Elon Musk and the Starlink team for giving us an internet connection that knows no boundaries. It is great to enjoy the internet, but let us take a moment to understand how the satellite internet connection reaches us. So how does Starlink work? Starlink is a constellation of thousands of small satellites that work together to create a global network. These satellites are designed to orbit the Earth at a much lower altitude than traditional satellites. By operating closer to the Earth's surface, Starlink satellites are able to reduce signal latency. This means faster, more responsive internet connections for users on the surface. But how does Starlink make all these satellites communicate with each other and with the ground stations? Starlink satellites use laser beams to establish links between each other, forming a mesh network in space. This allows the satellites to exchange data and route internet traffic efficiently. But it doesn't stop there. Starlink also relies on a network of ground stations strategically placed around the world. These ground stations communicate with the satellites, acting as gateways between the Starlink network and the internet, which in turn proceed to transmit signals to devices like our cell phones. Everyone who has installed the Starlink terminals and paid the subscription will get the satellite internet. As soon as you subscribe to Starlink, you will receive a Starlink kit, which comprises a dish mount, a satellite dish, and Wi-Fi router. The process of installing Starlink is very simple and straightforward, as outlined in the manual. You just have to set the satellite dish to start receiving signals and transmit the bandwidth to the router. You can always refer to the Starlink app when it comes to selecting the best position and location for the receivers. Although Starlink has been well received in most places, it has attracted lots of criticism from other quarters. America's arch-rival, Russia, has been at the forefront of criticizing Starlink. The Kremlin has openly stated that Starlink is a tool that is used by the US government to steal data from foreign countries. Russia is yet to prove that assertion. Furthermore, the Russian government is bitter with Starlink owner Elon Musk after the tech billionaire supported Ukraine with Starlink terminals. The results of the Starlink terminals in Ukraine are just phenomenal. The war-torn country now has access to fast and reliable internet connection after the country's previous internet infrastructure was destroyed by the Russian military. But the benefits of Starlink are more than meets the eye. Ukraine's military is the greatest beneficiary of Starlink's internet connection, which they are using in guiding Ukraine's drone strikes on Russian tanks and positions. Perhaps this is the reason why the relatively weaker Ukraine forces is keeping the larger Russian forces at bay. Moscow has taken a hard stand against Starlink and other Western satellite internet companies. In fact, any Russians found using the internet from Western satellite companies are heavily fined. In terms of competition, Starlink will be facing Jeff Bezos' Kuiper Systems LLC that was created in 2019 and is a subsidiary of Amazon. The deployment is also referred to by its project name, Project Kuiper. The project was announced on the 30th of July 2020 when the Federal Communications Commission officially permitted Kuiper to kick off its plan. Amazon's $10 billion program, Project Kuiper, will send its first satellites into space on 9 rockets owned by United Launch Alliance, a joint Boeing-Lockheed Martin venture. It would approximately take up to a decade to deploy all 3,236 satellites planned for the full constellation in order to provide internet connectivity to those in need. In terms of the company's expected growth, the market for the Starlink satellite service will exponentially grow when it will be used on smartphones. Starlink will seek to take advantage of the more than 7.3 billion smartphone users, which represents about 91% of the population. Elon Musk's other company, Tesla, is poised to manufacture a satellite smartphone that will be known as the Tesla Model Pi phone. Lastly, the profit earned from the sale of Starlink satellite services and other related products will be used to fund Musk's plan of colonizing Mars. It is estimated that it will cost SpaceX anything between $100 billion and $10 trillion in its quest for conquering the Red Planet. The SpaceX Starlink satellite connection is also expected to make the communication between Earth and Mars possible. As such, the Starlink is at the center of Elon Musk's goal of making humans an interplanetary species. Would you consider switching to Starlink internet? Why or why not? In case you're currently using Starlink, also share your experience in the comments section below. To this end, thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest tech and space news.